Hello, I've just received back the very first coins I've ever got graded, so let's take a look at them. Now, the first one is something very special. This is what we call a planished blank. So it's a £2 blank, but it's been pre-struck with a pair of blank dies to fuse the centre and the outer ring. If you've ever seen how £2 coins are normally made, you'll know that the central piece is simply gravity fed into the outer before they're then struck with the design on it. So you wouldn't normally see blank ones that are fused together like this unless they're planished blanks. And it wasn't until I was on a tour at the Royal Mint that I saw some of these lying on the table, and I asked one of the factory workers what it was, and he said it was a planished blank. So it's been graded by NGC as a mint error, and that it's a planchet for a Great Britain £2. However, because it has no edge inscription, I suspect this was actually intended to be used for, a territories £2 coin, like a Gibraltar one or such like. The other interesting thing is that it says it's 12.1 grams, which, might alarm some people because you'd expect it to be about 12.0. However, because of the way these are made, you're cutting out the outer piece, you're piercing a hole in the middle, when you're cutting out the inner piece, the amount of variation multiplies. So if you actually measure any £2 coins in the wild, there is quite some variance. And I've seen some as heavy as 12.15 grams before, so that's no concern. Anyway, the fact that it's been graded by NGC and encapsulated like this means it is a genuine blank from the Royal Mint. So that is something very, very special. You don't see many of those at all, really. Another minting error I sent off was this one. So this is a £2 coin where the outer piece was clipped before the coin was struck. So when they were cutting out the outer pieces, they overlapped slightly on the sheet of metal. So one of them had the edge clipped off. And what's really nice about these is that when they are struck, the inner piece bulges out slightly towards the clip. So there's no way you could fake this kind of thing, by just dremeling the edge off without, the central piece being a sort of giveaway that it's faked. So again, this is genuine as you'd expect. The grading on this one has been given a grade of AU55, so almost uncirculated, and then the score is out of 70. That's not really that meaningful to me. I just wanted it to be confirmed and, guaranteed that this is an error, basically, and that's what it is. So similarly, I sent off this one, which had an epic defective outer planchet. And again, you can see that where the the inner piece bulges out towards that broken edge. Again, that sort of is testament that this can't have been faked. This is not a piece of post-mint damage. The defect was existing before the coin was struck. And it's got a surprisingly high score as well, mint state 63. Again, I wasn't really seeking a high grade on this one, but that's pretty cool. The other unusual thing is how it's been mounted in the capsule. I was hoping that they might have put it around a bit so you could see the groove inside the inner piece, but at least when it's put in this way, it's not going to rotate accidentally inside the capsule. Another one I sent off was this. This is one of those £20 coins that the Mint sold for face value several years ago. It's quite a nice coin. It has the 5 different portraits of the Queen on it, and it is a £20 coin, which is very unusual, especially as you could buy them for face value, and it's made of 999 pure silver. And that got a grading score of MS69. Nice. So that's mint state, 1 off the best score, and the DPL designation means deep proof-like. So it means it's almost like a proof coin. You've got such a high contrast between the shiny background and the actual design features. And then another one, which I'm very happy with, is this sixpence. It's the last sixpence to feature Queen Elizabeth, the 2022 sixpence. And this, incredibly, got the highest score possible, mint state 70, deep proof-like. You really can't ask for much more than that, so I was very happy with that one. It was a relatively cheap coin to buy in the first place, and it looks so much nicer in this than it did in the original packaging. Another one I was really pleased with the result on is this. So this is a pound coin trial piece from 2015. So it says the Royal Mint on it, and it's bimetallic like the current pound coins that are in circulation. Everyone's seen these before, but you won't see any of these with dates earlier than 2016 on. But to make sure that these new bimetallic coins would work in vending machines and so on, the Royal Mint gave certain companies these trial pieces, essentially. They have no legal tender status, so they're pretty rare, and I'm super pleased that this came back as an MS65, because that is in fact the highest score in existence. There's a bunch of MS64s out there. This is actually the very first MS65 graded pound coin trial piece ever, so I got really lucky with this one. I've ended up getting back the best coin in existence. However, if you look on the NGC census, you'll notice there's actually 2 coins which have the MS65 score, and it just so happens that the other one I sent off is that other one. So I own the 2 highest scoring trial pieces in existence, so I don't really know what the implications of that are, but yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with that. And finally, just because everyone else seems to have done so, I sent off one of those £5 coins with the Four Nations design on it. You may not have seen these unless you've been to the Royal Mint, because they're only available to buy from the shop there. There's a limited mintage of 7,500 of these, I think. Again, very nice design. It's a proof coin, so this one got a designation of proof 69, which is nice. One off the highest possible score, and it's got the ultra cameo designation, which means there's such a huge contrast between the background and the design features. So yeah, again, pretty cool with that. So I got all of these graded through Grossy Coin Hunts. If you're into coins on YouTube, you've no doubt heard of him before. I've met him a few times. He seems an alright kind of geezer, so I was like, yeah, I trust you with my rare error coins. And yeah, I'm very pleased with the results. Very pleased that everything came back as expected. I think this is probably one of my favourites. I do like both of the other £2 errors, of course, just because they're pretty unusual, and I love the way that bimetallic coins make it obvious that they can't possibly be fakes. The sixpence, of course, I can't be unhappy about that just because of the great score it got. And these, I think, are also, you know, the stars of the party.